Now, before I get into what I'm about to get into, I just want to make sure that each and every one of you guys hit that like or dislike button, put some motherfucking Coach K full court pressure on that notification bell so you could be notified each and every time your boy E Thriller goes live or uploads a video to my channel. And once again, this is your homie, the one and only E Thriller. Welcome back. Now, I understand, man, it's kind of early, pretty damn early, rather. And I normally come on at nighttime, but I just had to come online to address some of the bullshit comments on my last video because it seems as though I ruffled a lot of feathers whenever I said Deontay Wilder gets hated on and Tyson Fury isn't unbeatable. So I'm gonna just give y'all a couple of moments to get up in this chat, to tune into this video. Shout out to everybody that's listening to this video, whether you're on your way to work or you're working from home, I don't know, eating breakfast. Shout out to everybody. It's Friday. It's the weekend. I'm very excited for that because, to be honest with you guys, my job been working me like a dog. So that's why I haven't been able to make a lot of videos like I normally been making over the last couple of weeks or so. But having said all of that, I'm going to get straight to it in just a second. I'm gonna let y'all come up in the chat, man, and we gonna address the bullshit today. And let me go ahead and share my screen. Yep. Gotta do it. I gotta do it. So, hold on. Let me do this first. All right, so let's get straight to it. Now, I understand in the sport of boxing that certain styles are a lot more fan-friendly than others, right? But it seems as though whenever it comes to a handful of fighters, in particular, Floyd Money Mayweather and a Deontay Wilder, hell, I can even put Terrence Bud Crawford in that equation as well. Fight fans are still going to find a way to hate on those dudes no matter what. And no, I'm not trying to make this a race baiting thing. Okay, because it's black niggas that hate on Terrence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, and a Deontay Wilder too. So before you sensitive ass boxing fans come up on this page, come up on this video and this live stream saying, oh, you race baiting, oh, you just a racist, you a hater. I ain't into none of that. You know, I like fighters that are Hispanic. I like black fighters. I like Latino fighters. I like Dominican fight. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But sticking to the point. For example, let's focus on Floyd Money Mayweather first. Floyd was labeled as a ducker, a holder, a runner, a boring fighter just because he didn't sell out to get knockouts, right? Well, what about Pretty Boy Floyd? Because wasn't he sending motherfuckers to sleep experts left and right? You understand what I'm saying? Before his hand started to deteriorate. And fans, even back then when Floyd was walking dudes down, knocking them out, throwing 8-punch combinations. You understand what I'm saying? Laying on the ropes, baiting dudes into counter punches. Even when Floyd was doing that, fans still found a way to hate on Floyd. And I'm just trying to figure out why. Why? Can somebody or anybody that's in the chat that's watching this video, please explain to me, why did you guys hate on Pretty Boy Floyd? Because I understand why you would probably hate on Money Mayweather. But you guys as fight fans are really going to have to learn how to separate the fighter from inside of the ring and outside of the ring, because to be honest with you guys, I don't like Floyd's personality outside of the ring. But guess what? I know how to separate him from the two. I understand that Money may or may not be a persona. He's just trying to sell fights. He's trying to sell a lifestyle to me just so I can either hate him or love him to purchase his pay-per-views. So I think a lot of you dudes or men, or women, we have to learn how to separate the two. You got to learn how to separate the two. Now, moving on to my next fighter. Let's focus on Terrence Bud Crawford. And this live is not going to be that long, just FYI. Terrence Bud Crawford is a guy who has been whacking everything, moving for years, especially ever since he's moved up to 147, right? And he still don't get the love and adulation from fight fans, because what do they say about Terrence Bud Crawford? Oh, he ain't fought nobody in the welterweight division. Oh, we don't care about him becoming undisputed at 140. You understand what I'm saying? And he's a very fight friendly for fans, for most fans, because he goes out there and gets knockouts. He's not a boxing magician or technician as far as defense. Terrence Bud Crawford likes to go in there. He likes to take chances, and he likes to put his opponents on his ass. But guess what? A certain selection of you motherfucking fight fans, you hypocritical fight fans, will still find a way to hate on Terrence Bud Crawford. And I just don't get that. So if you're listening to this video on the playback, please drop a comment below and let me know, why do you guys hate on Terrence Bud Crawford? I don't understand that one as well, right? And then in conclusion, let's focus on the Deontay Wilder. And this is where it gets good, because say what you want about Deontay Wilder. Here is a guy with zero amateur experience. He came into the sport of boxing at the tender age of 21, if I'm not mistaken. And he has been knocking out everybody left and right with that straight right hand from Tuscaloosa. And you still have a certain selection of individuals who, quote unquote, supposed to love the sport of boxing, who are supposed to appreciate the sweet science of boxing. Those dudes are still criticizing Deontay Wilder for knocking out everything moving. And once again, you have to learn how to separate the personal from the fighter inside of the ring. Why do you guys not like a Deontay Wilder? Because the only reason why I mentioned him and Floyd Mayweather in the same breath is because I'm just showing the hypocrisy. Because you have one guy in Floyd who is a boxing magician, who doesn't sell out to get knockouts, who goes in there and wins damn near 8 out of 12 rounds. And you guys complain about that. You guys say he's a clincher, he's a holder, he didn't fight dudes in their prime. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, he's boring, just like the other night against Logan Paul, the YouTuber. Now we all know Floyd wasn't a knockout artist, has never been a knockout artist, at least when he was at 147, right? And the man is 44 years of age. And if you were to believe Floyd, leading up to that fight, talking about he was going to knock out Logan Paul, I didn't believe that for one bit, because for one, he's fighting a cruiserweight. The man weighed at least 190 to 200 pounds, and Floyd has never been a knockout artist. You understand what I'm saying? And people are still lamenting and hating on Floyd, even at the age of 44, to the point where the man had to say, look, man, I'm not 21 anymore. And the dude was better than I thought. There's no shame in Floyd for openly admitting that, because I never thought he was going to knock him out anyway. And shout out to my boys in the chat, man. Euro Thomas, I see you. Rebel Life, I see you, bro. But listen to this. But then let's think about Terrence Bud Crawford, right? This man is basically an offensive wizard. This man has pop in both of his hands. This man sells out to get knockouts. And guess what? You still got certain fight fans hating on him as well. They still hate on Terrence Bud Crawford. They still say he ain't fought nobody. They still say 140, what he did at the 140-pound division, don't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe it's to protect Errol Spence. I don't know. I really don't know the reason. But I would love for somebody to drop a comment below, either on the playback or right now in the chat if you're listening. Shout out to everybody that's watching me this morning. But I just don't understand the logic behind it, because Terrence Crawford, once again, isn't a defensive wizard. He has a couple of holes in his defense, but guess what? He still goes out there and gives fight fans what they want to see. Well, at least the casuals, knockouts. And even with those knockouts, guess what they're going to say? It isn't good enough. I mean, the hypocrisy. And then a Deontay Wilder, oh my God, this dude, I agree. I know he can't really box. I've been saying that from day one. But guess what? He fills a void for me in the sport of boxing, because we ain't seen nothing like this since what? Iron Mike Tyson? I'm talking about coming in and just knocking dudes out left and right. Whether you want to say they're bums or not, these are dudes who have been fighting for their entire lives. Let's keep that in mind. So a Deontay Wilder has to have some sort of skill in order to get in there to even land that one-trick pony punch in that right hand, right? So do you guys not see the picture I'm trying to paint? The hypocrisy? Because if you have one dude in a Floyd Money Mayweather who does everything right inside of the ring, minus getting KOs, he does everything right. The footwork, the being able to roll the punches and slip and feint and set up his jab to the body, the straight right hand that lands like a missile. You understand what I'm saying? The check left hook, the uppercuts on the inside, the clinching and knowing how to get out of, inopportune moments. Floyd Money Mayweather knows how to use the ropes. He knows how to fight coming forward. He does it all. And you guys didn't like that. Okay, well then Terrence Bud Crawford. Here comes a guy who is an offensive wizard, who's knocking everybody left and right, who gets buzz on occasions, right? And fans will admit him and say that ain't good enough. And then you can have a pure knockout artist with little to no boxing experience who comes in a ring and just gets the job done. He puts on a show for the fans. He knocks everybody out. It's toe-to-toe action most of the time with Deontay Wilder, and you dudes still hate on him. And I just don't get it. So basically, this live stream is just to ask, like, give me some insight. Now, I understand not every athlete or every fighter is going to be somebody's cup of tea. I get that. That's what makes us so beautiful, because we all love and like different things. I get that. But can you guys explain to me, why are you guys so damn hypocritical when it comes to these three particular fighters? Hell, I can even throw Bernard Hopkins in there, who is my favorite fighter of all time. Everybody called him boring, but guess what? B-Hop didn't give a fuck, because he went out there and got the job done. And if the knockout presented itself, he took it. And this is no different than what Devin Haney fight a couple of weeks ago. Here you have a guy, a young guy at that, who is a protege in the sport. This man is not a knockout artist at all, at all. And he was listening to people. He was trying to sip the Kool-Aid. So he said, you know what? I'm going to step to this guy. I'm going to step to Linares and try to make this a more entertaining fight, just to give the fans what they want to see. And this man got buzzed one time. I mean, one time in the 10th round. And everybody just swore up and down, this man has been exposed, all because he sold out to be what? More entertaining, right? So I just don't understand it, man. But let me get to this chat before I address the comments on my last video. Let me see. My boy Hero Thomas in the chat, he said, unfortunately, people's minds just don't work that way. In terms of separating Pretty Boy from Money May, they are a lot of the same. Okay. My boy Rebel Life, salute, homie E, salute, bro. Make sure y'all go sub up to my boy Rebel Life Boxing, man. He always dropping some dope videos each and every day. Crazy, bro. Shout out to my boy. He said they'll buy tickets just to see Mayweather lose. Laugh out loud. That is a cold, hard fact, my brother. A cold, hard fact. And I understand that, but at least come out and say it. Just come out and say, hey, man, I don't like this dude for X, Y, and Z, and I pay to watch him lose. And I'm all right with it. I understand that. Euro Thomas said, just like the old days and the new days of wrestling, they always had a hero and a villain to root for and against. The character Mayweather created, so that's the reason. That's a good point, bro. It's all a persona. And I don't understand why people don't know how to separate, one from the other. I don't know how to say your name, my brother, but shout out to you. He said Floyd Mayweather Jr. was trolling with his comment because he actually beat Logan Paul. Of course, he beat the hell out of Logan Paul. Did y'all not see them punch stats after the fight? Mayweather didn't even have to throw a lot of punches, bro. He beat the dog crap out of him, in my personal opinion. He even hurt him a couple of times, but the dude was big, so it is what it is. Crazy Bro said, yep, and I believe Mayweather uses that to his advantage. It's brilliant. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? He said Mayweather Jr. used to knock out opponents for fun, but changed his strategy and wins. Yep. He had to change his strategy basically because of his hands, man. And then, whenever his father came back in later on in his career and took over from Roger, rest in peace, Roger Mayweather, he told Floyd to be a way more defensive after that Cotto fight, because Floyd took a little bit of punishment in that Cotto fight. Cotto had him leaking a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Euro said, everybody knows my favorite fighter is Bud Crawford, but I have to be honest, Crawford has a percentage of fault along with his promoter to how his career has went. Facts. And I totally agree. Everybody knows that Bud Crawford is my new favorite fighter in the sport as of today, but I totally agree. He needs to get away from Bob, man. He got to get away from Bob. Even if he don't go to PBC, he has to get away from Bob. I don't understand. I guess he's trying to wait until October for his contract to run out, but how does that work, Euro? Like, I'm not sure how that works in the sport of boxing, because does he still owe Bob Arum one more fight, or whenever October rolls around, can he just walk away? That's what I don't know. Drop a comment in the chat and let me know. Crazy Bro said, yeah, Mayweather did change up. Pretty Boy was getting KOs. Facts. And they still hated on Pretty Boy. They still hated on him. Okay, y'all going back and forth. Okay. Yeah, that's a fact, Euro. I mean, that's the thing, though. Some Terrence Crawford fans, such as me and you, we can admit, whenever he's wrong. You know, ain't no fanboy shit going on. Hey, Bud should have been got out of that contract. I totally agree. Totally agree. But let's not absolve all of those dudes on PBC from any blame. That be my whole point. Like, we can't just be one-sided. We got to look at both sides in totality. Euro said Wilder, I think, is just a victim of hate because of his long-winded talking. Although it's positive, some people just can't relate. I agree. That's a good point. I agree. I agree. But let me pull up the comments on my last video. Hold on. Let me address these directly. Let me know if y'all can see this. So the first comment, I don't know what this guy, I don't know if this is a dude or a woman, to be honest with you. Adrian posted on my page. Of course, I couldn't really reply because I think he did a post and delete. And that's one thing I can't stand about some of you motherfuckers on YouTube. You got some people that'll come on my page talking all this shit, trying to tell me some shit about boxing. And for one, let me go to their profile. Let me go to their profile. They got one sub, which I ain't knocking it, whatever. But you ain't got no videos on the sport of boxing. You can't even act like you can try to tell me some shit about the sport of boxing because you ain't got nothing on your page that I can click on and listen to and say, okay, I kind of see your point. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all ain't talking about nothing. And then dudes like this or a woman will have the nerve to do a post and delete. You understand what I'm saying? Let me pause that. I ain't trying to play that. That's my last video, y'all. But yeah, let me address this comment directly. Adrian said, who said Fury's unbeatable? But he beats Wilder, the fraud. Lost his first meaningful fight, made 100 excuses for the L, and don't compare this fraud to Mayweather. Why? Because they're both black. Oh, boo, boo, hoo. Wilder beat one current top 30 heavyweight. You sound dumb. Okay, so let me just address this head on. And I usually don't do this, but this motherfucker is dumb as fuck. If you were to listen to what the fuck I was saying, I was basically just comparing the two, not because they're black, because again, like I said at the beginning of this live stream, it's a lot of black dudes that hate on Floyd Money Mayweather and the Deontay Wilder. So my comment or my statement wasn't about race baiting, sir or madam. You understand what I'm saying? That's point number one. Point number two is I agree with you. Wilder did make a ton of excuses that I did not agree with. I have multiple videos bashing of Deontay Wilder for making those excuses because I don't want to hear them. I don't want to hear them personally. Not to say that it's not true, but I just don't have the conclusive evidence on my end to say, you know what, he's right. Mark Breland spiked your water. The suit tired you out. You understand what I'm saying? You wasn't right before the fight. I don't have any conclusive evidence of that. Only that man can tell me how he felt on that night. That's point number two. And then as far as point number three, saying that, oh, I sound dumb. Well, you are entitled to your opinion. You are also entitled to hitting a dislike button and unsubscribing to my channel if you are sub. See if I give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? Because the truth is going to sound like I sound dumb and the truth sounds like hate. So guess what? I guess I'm a hating motherfucker because I try to tell the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And then let me go here. Who else posted some dumb shit on my page? Who else posted some dumb shit? Okay. Fred Rogers. He said, you must be an ostrich or something because your head is firmly buried in the sand, my friend. It is not a mystery why people don't like him. I guess he means Deontay Wilder. The dude has one good win in roughly 45 fights and 5 years as a champion. Floyd, with all of his running and holding, at least he had a good resume. And maybe Wilder would be embraced if he did too. Let's just stop right there. First of all, let's address the Floyd running and holding. Y'all see what I was saying earlier in the video? You see how they try to give Floyd a backhanded compliment just because he is a boxing magician? And even with Floyd's good resume, he still gets hate. So what are you really trying to say, sir? What are you really trying to say? And as far as the Deontay Wilder, let me see. What else did he say? He said, aside from his general stupidity, I can't support anyone saying they want to kill people in the ring. Once again, I don't really think Deontay Wilder means that. I don't. But then again, he's just trying to sell the fight, in my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but that's my personal opinion. He said he was cool around 2014 or so, but he lost himself since then. Okay. I hear you. All right, but yeah, that's basically all I had to say, man, about this. Let me get back to the chat. We are not privy to Crawford's contract, but by public narrative, I would have been told Bud owes Top Rank one more fight. Aram said yesterday. Okay. Okay. This is an honest question. Who do y'all think Crawford is fighting next? I have no idea, bro. I really don't. And to be honest with you, I haven't even thought about it no more. I've just resigned to the fact of Bud ain't getting no fight anytime soon. I mean, it is what it is because it seems like Bob Arum don't want to pay him or his opponent. You understand what I'm saying? And as long as he's with Bob Arum, who is a cheapskate who don't want to pay nothing because we're quote unquote still in a pandemic, then there's only so many good fighters Bud is going to have the opportunity to fight. But that's all I got to say, man. I got to log off. Shout out to everybody that's watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment below on the playback. Make sure you also hit that notification bell so you can be notified each and every time I upload a video or go live on my channel. And once again, until next time, I'm gone. Holla.